Senior Living Video Series. Video 266. Learning a new skill. After 60, why it's good for your brain and where to start. There's a persistent myth that learning new things gets harder or less worthwhile once you're past a certain age. The research says the opposite. Your brain keeps building new connections your whole life, and picking up a new skill in retirement isn't just possible, it's one of the best things you can do for long-term cognitive health. The real brain science behind it. Neuroscientists call it neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new neural connections throughout life, not just in childhood. Learning something genuinely new and challenging rather than something you already know well is what drives this growth. That's why picking up a new language, a musical instrument, or an unfamiliar craft tends to offer more cognitive benefit than simply doing a crossword you're already good at. The challenge itself is the point, and studies following older adults who took up new complex skills have found measurable improvements in memory and processing speed compared to those who stuck with familiar routines. It's not just about the brain. Learning something new in a group setting, a class, a workshop, a club, delivers a second benefit that matters just as much: social connection. Structured learning environments create natural, recurring social contact with people who share your interest, which is exactly the kind of consistent connection that protects against the isolation so many retirees quietly struggle with. The skill itself is almost secondary to the community that forms around learning it together. Setting realistic expectations so you don't quit too soon. Nearly every beginner hits the same wall. The first few weeks feel clumsy, progress feels slow, and it's tempting to decide you're just not cut out for this. That feeling is normal, not a sign you've picked the wrong hobby. Learning follows a predictable curve: a rough start, a plateau, and then a noticeable jump once the basics become automatic. Give any new skill a minimum of 6 to 8 sessions before deciding whether it's for you. Track small wins rather than comparing yourself to people who've been at it for years. The goal in the beginning is simply doing it again next week. Where to actually start? You don't need a formal degree program. Community colleges often offer deeply discounted or free continuing education courses for seniors, covering everything from painting to computer skills to foreign languages. Many universities also host Osher Lifelong Learning Institutes, programs built specifically for adults 50 and older, with no tests, no grades, and no admission requirements, just people learning together for the enjoyment of it. Public libraries run free workshops on everything from digital photography to genealogy. Senior centers typically have full activity calendars most people never think to check. And for genuinely flexible, at-your-own-pace learning, several online platforms offer courses specifically designed with older adult learners in mind, no classroom required. Technology doesn't have to be the obstacle. If part of what's held you back is discomfort with computers, tablets, or apps, you're far from alone, and it's worth treating that discomfort as its own learnable skill rather than a permanent limitation. Many libraries and senior centers offer one-on-one tech help sessions specifically to build confidence with devices, video calls, and online classes. Once that barrier comes down, an entire world of low-cost and free instruction opens up, from guided art tutorials to language apps built around short daily lessons. Picking something you'll actually stick with. The best new skill is one tied to something you're already curious about, not one you think you should learn. If you've always wanted to speak Italian before a trip, start there. If you've admired a friend's watercolor paintings for years, that's your entry point. Permit yourself to be a genuine beginner. The goal isn't mastery, it's engagement, and even a few months of steady practice produces real cognitive and emotional benefits. So here's your call to action. Pick one thing you've been curious about for years and look up a beginner class this week. You don't need to be good at it right away. You need to start. So as we wrap up, here's the big takeaway. Your brain is still growing, still adapting, and still capable of learning in ways that genuinely strengthen your memory, your confidence, and your connection to other people. You don't need to be perfect and you don't need to learn fast. You just need to stay curious and keep showing up. If there's a skill you've been thinking about for years, this is your moment. Look up a beginner class, a workshop, or even a simple online lesson this week. Permit yourself to be a beginner again. The benefits for your mind, your mood, and your social life start the moment you begin. Thanks for spending this time with me today. If you found this helpful, feel free to join me for more videos like this. And remember, you're never too old to learn something new. I'll see you in the next one.